What's up guys, Jamar Dawson here with Remnant Outdoors. Hope you're doing great today. So as of the recording of this video, the World Health Organization has declared the COVID-19 coronavirus as a pandemic worldwide. As a result, if it didn't happen already in your area, people have hit the grocery stores up and taken all the hand sanitizer, people are buying and fighting over toilet paper, and now even food is disappearing off the shelves. Unfortunately, when one person hears that, oh, food might be short and I need to go buy some, and they go buy some and they tell their friends, and there's just a snowball effect of people buying things, which we in the preparedness community like to call panic buying. If you implement preparedness into your life, excellent on you. You kind of stay ready instead of having to get ready, but I guess you wouldn't be watching this video if you're already ready and prepared. So for those who have been caught off guard, I have a list of food items that are still on most shelves in most grocery stores that people usually overlook in times of a crisis. You could go to Walmart, Food Lion, Kroger, Piggly Wiggly, and hopefully some of these items may be on the shelves for a good price. High calories, long shelf life, things you could consume in a crisis. Let's get started. Canned fruit is extremely overlooked for some reason, but it is one of the best foods to stock, especially these small cans that you see here. At about $1.20, canned fruit is healthy and packed with many much needed calories. This particular can of peaches here has a total of 200 calories and a shelf life of over 2.5 years. A great thing to buy cheap and stack pretty deep. Number 2 on this list is packaged tuna. I recently got turned on to packaged tuna, man. I am not a big seafood eater, but at $1 a pack, I figured what the heck. Why not try it? And both me, my wife, mind you, is not a tuna fan, were beyond pleased. These little packets are about 100 calories a piece. They are packed with protein and other good things that you're gonna need for yourselves. And if you combine this with another food item, I think you have a pretty filling meal for yourself. These tuna creations things, like I said, they're $1 a piece. You can find these really close to the canned meat section, so check these out. And because they're so small and thin, you can kind of stack these up and fill these into small spaces if storage is an issue for you. Number 3 on this list is packaged chicken. In the same area as the packaged tuna, typically, at least in my Walmart it is the packaged chicken. And for about $1.25, you can combine this high protein food to some rice or some pasta to really complement that dish. Oh yeah, the shelf life for these are nearly 3 years, so once you stock up on them, you don't really have to worry about rotating them for a while. They're not like extremely high calorie. Like I said, this is something that you're gonna wanna add to something else or use as a snack. But lasts a long time, stuff you could eat, whether it's normal times or certainly in a survival crisis situation. Number 4 on this list is canned meat. I'm not the biggest fan of canned meat, but there's a lot of it and people typically overlook it, particularly in the panic buying stages in the beginning of a crisis. Now, I did leave very strategically Spam off this list because that's one of the things that people buy. It's like a really old school survival food that people have kind of identified as that kind of that's made mainstream, but I didn't include that because a lot of those are getting bought up. Anyway, back to the stuff that you see here. The advantage of canned meat is that it has an extremely long shelf life. For example, this canned ham here has like a 5-year shelf life, something ridiculous like that. And this potted meat that you see here has an expiration date of over 2.5 years. Additionally, canned meat typically comes in small single serving helpings, which is great because you don't have to really worry about it spoiling. If you open up a big old thing of something and you only want to eat a portion of it, you could just eat this whole thing here. You can eat this whole thing of Vienna sausage or split it with somebody and be done with it. So the smaller packaged items really have a great advantage in times like these. Now, number 5 is peanut butter. This item may not be viable for some people due to allergies or availability in your area, but otherwise, peanut butter is a great food option with a decent amount of protein and calories per serving. And like others on this list, you can consume it by itself or get creative and combine it with another food item to add some variety to your meals. The shelf life for most peanut butter is about 2 years, so it stores really well. As panic buying increases, peanut butter availability in the stores will dry up, so try to get this as soon as possible. Number 6 on our list is pasta. Now, when I was a bachelor, this was one of the few foods I actually knew how to make for myself. In about 10 minutes, you can have a nice 200-calorie meal that costs less than $2 and can be combined with almost an infinite amount of sauces, spices, seasonings, and a bunch of other foods like the prepackaged chicken we talked about earlier. Most pasta is good for more than 2.5 years before it needs to be replaced. which is quite substantial. Lastly, its small profile allows you to store a sufficient amount of pasta boxes without taking up a very large footprint. Just don't forget to get something like a sauce or something else to add to your spaghetti and pasta and stuff like that. You don't want to just have this by itself. It probably is not going to taste that great. Coming in at number 7 is oatmeal. For some reason, breakfast foods are typically overlooked when folks make a mad dash to the grocery store shelves. However, I highly recommend you don't discount oatmeal packets because it has about 100 calories per pack, provides some level of protein, and it costs about 15 cents per pack when purchased in packets of 10. Oatmeal is also good because once it's consumed, it sort of expands inside of you and it really helps you feel more fuller than you actually may be, which is very helpful during a crisis situation where your food intake will be less than what it usually is. Lastly, these packets are fairly flat, so you could store them in a lot of small spaces. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and more importantly, I hope you can still find the things listed in this video at your local grocery store or supermarket. By the time you see this, hopefully there's some stuff still on the shelves. Obviously, I left some things out, certain staples like beans and rice. Those are kind of just no-brainers, and plus a lot of people are starting to buy those anyways. Another thing is I try to keep this list relatively concise to things you don't need a lot of extra equipment for. Of course, with pasta, unfortunately, you have to heat that in water for about 10 minutes or so. But a lot of things I tried to keep as far as stuff in cans or in bags or packets that you didn't have to add a lot of extra stuff to. I cannot stress enough how important it is to stay ready rather than getting ready. Scrambling last minute often leaves you empty-handed. Each store only has about 3 days worth of food on the shelves during normal buying periods. So you can imagine during a crisis, a lot of that gets bought up. So buying last minute is not recommended. The Bible actually encourages us to look at the ant. It says, look, it doesn't have a whole lot of people telling it what to do. It doesn't have complex organizational structure, but it has the vision enough to know I need to prepare for hard times, which for ants, it's like the winter or whatever, but it really is relevant to us as humans. During times of crisis, it forces us to take a step back and see, am I prepared? What's my long-term solutions look like? And am I ready for whatever happens? I do believe, however, we will get through this crisis hopefully soon, and we will emerge as a people, especially here in this country, as folks who are more prepared for situations as they arise. If you have any comments or questions, leave it in the space below. I recommend you subscribe to stay up to date with all the content we're going to be coming out with shortly. Stay safe. God bless. Peace out.